because you know how I do. In my groove, and you know that I never lose. Hit a 1-2 shot with the power move. Yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do. What can I say though? Let me out the cage, I'm an animal. About to tear it up, all guts, all glory. No comparing us, it's my victory. All the way from LA to Osaka. Yeah, you best believe that I'm gonna do you proper. It's a showdown right now, better watch out. Shorty, you can, no man, it's a knockout. No matter who it is, when you match me up, you getting knocked down, ain't no stacking up. Left, right, up, down, super.
Good evening, everybody. This is Batman333, and we are back with a new live stream. Today, we're taking a look at the Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Highly anticipated for all you fighting game heads out there. This is the one I think a lot of people were waiting for. I mean, everybody was waiting for the Marvel vs. Capcom Collection, obviously, because, you know, you haven't seen those games on a, like, modern console, like, you know, digital or physical copy in quite some time. Lots of us kept specifically a copy of our, you know, a copy of these games digitally on older systems like Xbox, and I had the Capcom Collection, not the Collection, but rather SNK versus Capcom versus SNK 2 on a PS3, and so this is the first time that they've finally released a lot of these older games in a collection. And today we're just going to take a quick look at it. I don't know how long we'll do the video today, but we're going to go through each game, look at the features, you know, just kind of break it apart and introduce some people out there who may or may not have played some of these games. A lot of these titles are near and dear to my heart, obviously, because I've played fighting games since forever. And, you know, I played the majority of these on console, with the exception of a few that came out on things like Dreamcast, you know, and you know, the games that were like on Naomi Board. But Capcom vs. SNK, Capcom vs. SNK 2, Powerstone, you know, and then there's a couple other titles in here that I haven't actually played myself. I don't think I've ever played the original Star Gladiator. I believe I played the second one, because that's included in here. But we'll break it down. I'm just going to let the little intro thing run here. It's just cool to see a lot of these games again, you know, because man, it's been a minute. And you know, the one title, Capcom vs. SNK 2, like, that hasn't been on anything in a while. And the last time it was on a console, I think on Xbox you could play it online, but the PS3 one, you know, you couldn't play it online. It was only local. Man, look at that artwork. It's just so nice to see this game again. A lot of my friends, you know, one of my old school fighting game friends have been waiting for this one to come out, and it's cool to know that this is going to be something that's going to be cross-play, so you can play it on, you know, all modern consoles. It is going to be on Switch. It's going to be on, you know, Steam and all your normal stuff. Yeah, that's how old I am, guys. Exactly, I'm I am the definition of old school here. Oh, look at this. Project Justice, that's the title that was on the Dreamcast. It's basically more or less Rival Schools 2, because the original Rival Schools was on the arcade and also PS1, which used to have that dual disc where you could play like through the story on one disc, and then it had like the arcade and kind of like versus mode on the other disc. But let's take a look. Let's break this thing down. So we're going to take a look at a few things. For those of you who might not be familiar, Capcom has been releasing these like collections that kind of have a almost like an archived you know, set of games that were very popular, you know, that were very beloved, and they put them in these collections. And the first Capcom collection was called the Capcom Fighting Collection, and this is a, you know, newer generation, not some of the collections they've done in the past. This was real specific to like Capcom fighting games, and that one featured a lot of the Street Fighter games, you know, Super Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, Turbo, Hyper, you know, all those type of titles, and then it also included like the Darkstalker series, and things like that. I think also Cyberbots was one of the titles in there, and Red Earth, which was never released on modern consoles. It was never really, like, you know, put out. As a matter of fact, I think the only way I was able to play Red Earth at one point was on emulator. That was one of the first CPS3 games. You know, the CPS3 is the engine that was used in Street Fighter 3. You know, Capcom CPS1, CPS2, CPS3, you know. So if you go from like the original older Capcom games, they might have been on CPS1, so that's like your Street Fighters and things like that, regular Street Fighter 2s and whatnot. And then Alpha is like CPS2, and then Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Those were those games. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Those games were on CPS3, and so Red Earth was the first game to put out that engine, and then shortly after that they put JoJo's in the Street Fighter 3. Yada yada yada. But that was Capcom Fighting Collection 1. Then there was just this sort of like dead air on what if they were going to release anything, and so for months and years people were just kind of like wondering, like, hey, when are they going to release you know, like the older Capcom like versus games. So like Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, you know, just a lot of those types of games, and it took them a while, and then just out of nowhere, they announced the Marvel Collection, and then shortly after the Marvel Collection was released, then they announced that they were going to release the Capcom Fighting Collection 2, and you know. And so everybody out there, everybody that plays anything fighting games, these are just the sort of like Bible of fighting games that a lot of people play. You know, if you ever went to an arcade, these are the type of games that were played the most. And so that's what we're going to be taking a look at today here is, you know, what made these games nostalgic, what made them fun. Just going to go through some of the options here. Let's see. We got English. Okay, put it in different languages, obviously. So, menu button. Oh, I see. You can select what your menu button is going to be. Start. Okay. The coin. Okay, so that's pressing down. Okay. Well, I think we're good on the default stuff here. Let's check out the music. Okay, so that's just the volume. Okay, cool. So, you can get the original when a new challenger appears. Okay, you get the remix or you can get the original. Let's start with the remix, and then we'll just kind of go from there. Alright, I guess we'll just leave everything on, input delay. You know, I haven't really, we'll get to this later. I guess we'll adjust this depending on how the game works. Oh, and that's another thing about these collections. They put them out with the intention of trying to preserve the sort of like, the nostalgia of these games, so they give you these little designs on the games, and you can put it, you know, when you start up a game, where you can change it to make it look like it's an arcade cabinet, sort of. It's got a, you know, artwork on the side, and then you can also, you know, adjust your screen with scan lines and the different kind of scan methods that they had back in the day on the old CRT TVs to give it that like arcade, you know, appearance, what you kind of remember when you put some quarters or tokens into a machine. So, let's see, Friday Awards. So I'm assuming these are just the unlockables. So depending on the games that you play, you'll get these unlockables. And oh, cool, they got it all in here. They got it. Oh, that's right. Well, yeah, we're gonna break down what games they put on this one, because there was a lot of more or less controversy on some of the games that they released on here. We'll talk about that too as well. So let's see, museum. Obviously, we got a gallery. Oh, cool. So we got the gallery for all of the games. So they got one here for more or less just, I guess, you know, maybe some new artwork. Yeah, and you can kind of go right on in and get and, you know, take a look at these things. So that's some artwork from Capcom vs. SNK. You can zoom in there, which is pretty cool. Give me one moment, guys. I'm just taking a look at something here on my end. Sorry if I'm just kind of pausing through the menus and stuff. I just wanted to take a look at a few things. One sec. Okay. Why does this do this? Sorry, I'm just trying to post something and alright, let's get back to it. So we got some oh, whoa. Oh, so they just gotta pick. Oh, I thought like you could take the background out. It's just two images. Yeah. Okay, so I guess essentially when you play through the game, you'll get to unlock some more artwork. They'll give you some base things for each game. So we got this here, and you can kind of zoom in and scan it around, and you got the SNK side versus the Capcom side. Got Geese, Mai, Rio. Terry, obviously, Balrog, Vega, Dalsum. So this is just, I guess, the marquee, or not really a marquee, but it's just some artwork that Capcom did. And it looks like you only got like a few. I guess as you play these games, you know, you go to the specific game, you're going to get more, you know, artwork over time as you unlock them. I can't wait to just jump in, to be honest. I just wanted to take a look at all this stuff and maybe give you guys a quick peek at what the collection looks like, you know. There's some people who've been putting out some videos. You know, we're just gonna, you know, celebrate the fact that this game is finally out, because this is a very beloved game collection. So, and what I'm referring to is Capcom vs. SNK 2. I used to play some local arcade tournaments here in my area, and I just remember I was one of the few guys that actually had the sort of like balls to play P-Groove. So when we get into Capcom SNK 2, we'll talk about the game system and how that works. You know, especially now, you got like a lot of people kind of just getting into SNK games for the first time. That was what was sort of nice about this game. It bridged the gap between people who strictly played just Capcom Street Fighter type games, or just the Capcom library of games, and, you know, SNK not so much. You know, there was some people that played them out there, but, you know, you would find them few and far between. And this was that one this was that one title that sort of bridged the gap, and, you know, it was like the definitive game to prove, like, well, who is better at their respective, you know, company, you know, in terms of their fighting game library. And, you know, SNK did a similar thing. They made something called SNK versus Capcom Chaos, and that game basically was their version of it, where they, you know, as the SNK team took their artwork style, like this right here, it would be, you know, sort of respective to SNK style art, as to where this would be like Capcom's, you know, art for that character. But not only in the art did they make changes, they also made the, you know, the sprites, the gameplay controls, you know, the feel of the animations and stuff. They made it, you know, sort of like their own thing. So SNK had their own kind of brand, and how their interpretation of what Capcom characters would play like if they were in SNK. And then, you know, Capcom obviously did the same with theirs, but you know, the Capcom side was a little bit more popular. It had more characters, more choices in terms of like the different kind of styles you could play with the characters on each respective side. So it was pretty cool. Oh my god, it looks like the Blanca from the Street Fighter movie. Look at him looking at you. He's looking right at you guys. Balrog. You know, and I don't mind the art style on either side. I mean, that looks pretty dope. I like that. This would be like, you know, what Vega would look like if he was an SNK character. So, all right, let's get to it. We'll play with that stuff maybe later. Let's do a little offline. We'll kind of start and just kind of take a look at what we got here. So, the start of the library here, we'll have Capcom vs. SNK. This was the very first release and the very first title to, like I said, be released where it had featured Capcom characters and SNK characters. You know, what's cool is you can play either the English or the sort of Japanese version of it. You can, you know, you pick on which side you want to play on. You can go into training. Let's see what some of the game settings look like. You know, set your difficulty, you know, your attack power. I'm just assuming, like, you know, you'll just do more damage. Timer speed, if you want the time to run out a little faster. Free select. Okay, so this right here is like, in a lot of Capcom games, they give you the choice of, like, playing, like, the normal speed, or you can play, like, you know, sort of like a turbo, you know, just the game kind of runs a little faster, you know, you can jump quicker. It just, you know, it sometimes becomes chaotic, and some people, are going to pretty much, you know, pick which style they want to play the characters. Oh, hey, we got someone in the chat there. I didn't even catch that. Let me just see what this guy says here. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm definitely going to play arcade mode. I'm just kind of going through the real basics, just kind of looking at some of the menu options and stuff, you know. I know, yeah, let's just dive right in, to be honest. I mean, I like to go into training and stuff like that, but we're just going to go right into arcade because, you know, this will be like as if I'm putting my quarters in and, you know, reliving my childhood. So, I know in the last game you had to press the middle pad. Yep, it's still the same. Because I want to change the display. I want to see what the different, so you see you can change the wallpapers in the background. Looks like it only has about 4 options. So then we got the display filter. This is what's cool. So like if you want to do the different kind of scan lines and stuff, you just sort of pick what you want, and it'll give you internal resolution. That's a little different. Oh, let's see. Full. Yeah, we'll do full. Let's see what this looks like. I mean, this pretty much operates like the Marvel Collection and the Capcom Fighting Collection 1. So this has that like dot matrix looking scan lines. That's alright. I don't want that one. I want like scan lines actually. Let's see. Usually I think it's like D. This one looks okay. Yeah, that one looks okay. Let's see. We'll go in and just kind of go through them all until we get the one that I like. See, that's what I'm used to, but the scan lines are a little large on that. Sometimes that stuff can kind of affect the frame rates and things like that, but, you know. Okay, that one looks a little bit more better. Yeah, let's stick with that one. I think D was the one that I always liked. So let's see, we gotta put quarters in? No.
Which groove do you like?
Oh no, scan lines make that look really dark, doesn't it? Let's try this one. A little brighter. Oh, we'll go with the Capcom side. I should have picked SNK.
Form up your team.
So yeah, see, I think if you pick SNK, they'll kind of like look like their, you know, art style. But let's see, we'll do. Oh no, all the characters are here. Okay. I wonder what's the difference. Maybe it's in the. Yeah, I haven't played this in like such a long time. This is the first one too. This one was a little weird. So like this game, the way this one worked, it had it didn't have 6 buttons. Like, it had 4, from what I remember, and the reason why is because SNK games have 4 buttons. So, you know, you're gonna have like you're more or less gonna be missing tools. You know, like the different medium attacks and things like that would be missing. Did I really pick Dan? Oh no, this is just like that secondary order. Okay, let's just get different order. Yeah, because there's ratio. So the way this game worked is that you could pick. Oh no, look at that. This looks so cool.
Round
Yeah,
one.
this is a little too blurry. I don't like that. Let's change this because this.
Fight.
Oh, that's even worse. Man, they got so many different display filters. You know, it could be the resolution thing too, because you know this game is so old that like it's trying to get this to look like right on a modern TV is going to be pretty difficult because you know it's such an old way of doing graphics. You know, you don't have like 3D in it and you know stuff like that. So that will play the best as far as the frame rate, I think. But no, is it this one? That doesn't look too bad. Let me try one more filter. Sorry, I just alright, we'll stick with this until we get annoyed with it, I guess. But yeah, you got your jab, you got your medium, but there is no like, you know, fierce. It was like fierce, and then like I guess if you did like a combo of some sort with one of the buttons, it would like bring out the frame for that respective attack. So yeah, if we were to look at the controls, you see light, punch, and heavy kick. So that's literally all they had. But with the collections, they give you the ability to, I believe, do like the super moves and stuff. So like, you know, if you wanted to put in like some of their special moves and some of their super moves, so you don't have to do the inputs for them, you can map them to a button. So I generally don't, yeah, see, here it is right here. I generally don't do it just because I know how to do the motions and stuff, so it doesn't bother me to just do them manually, with the exception of certain, you know, characters, but yeah. So. But for the most part, it works just like any other fighting game. You know, you got some light button, a heavy button, you got some special moves. But what makes this different is, you know, you can press the 2 shorts and you can do that little roll, you know, and stuff like that. So. Yeah, that's my boy Joe Higashi. As far as the commands, so just motions, you know, you want to do a super, you do double fireball motion and press a punch button. You want to do a dragon punch, you know, you do the Z, forward, down, forward, you know, all the same stuff. You know, if you've played a fighting game, a 2D fighting game, everything is going to work just, you know, the way you expect it to. You know, this video isn't really, or this stream isn't to just, you know, teach you how to really play the game. I'll, you know, put in some thoughts, but I just wanted to get a little overview of the collection and play through some of the games, maybe try some of the games online. I'm really excited to play like Powerstone. Oh my god, I've not played that game since it was out, you know, since I had it on Dreamcast, and when it was out on the arcades. I used to go to the movie theater and play it anytime I was there. I used to go to a local place here, it was a bowling alley, and very popular arcade here. It was like our Chinatown fair out here in Tampa. But yeah, a lot of memories there. Made a lot of friends, you know, long time friends from playing at those places. Yeah, I don't even know if I want to go through this whole entire game to beat this one, because this game, while it was cool, it just Capcom vs. SNK2 is just a much better iteration of this game. You know, like a lot of the stuff that people didn't like about this and complained about, they fixed and updated in the new one. You know, had a much better engine, a much better way of like showcasing each of these characters, you know, and their sort of like what makes them fun. Ooh. You know, like this doesn't have like parrying or anything like that yet. It's just kind of like, you know, you just if you play that character in that respective game, you'll do their moves just the same, you know. But it was cool because it was like kind of like, you know, like, oh shoot, they got a Yori, and what does that matchup look like against a Guile, you know, and things like that. Oh, got a trophy. Alright, let's see. We'll do a couple more, like, fights on this one, because I do want to play. I kind of want to rotate and go through the games, and then we'll just kind of stick with one. And, you know, or if there's a game you want to see specifically, let me know. I'll put that one on, and we'll, oh, look at that. See, this is what's so cool about this game, man. This is like nostalgia, you know, just a straight up arcade in there, you know. It's a celebration of just fighting games in arcades, you know. So look at Dan freaking over here. Oh. Yeah, a game where Dan can actually be viable. Oh, God. Sorry, I am just so bothered by this display. There we go, that looks a little bit better. That's the scan lines. I like this one. This one is okay, so the colors don't look as bad. There's that one of them I picked that the colors look really bad. Does that have EX moves? See, I don't even think this has like EX moves or anything. It's just supers. Like you can do multiple supers if you were clever enough. But damn. Oh, come on. Throw. Oh yeah, what is a throw? Is it just the, I guess it's the heavy buttons in this. Yeah, it's the heavy buttons. You know, modern fighters, pressing the two shorts on a game usually does a throw. And I'm sorry if I'm using terminology like that, you know, if you're not a fighting game person watching this video. Yeah, just, you know, I'm just assuming that people who would watch something like this would be people who have played these type of games or, you know, interested in these types of titles and stuff, so. Sonoma Machine.
Decide the order of about.
I love me some Yuri. I haven't played him in this game in a while. Man, the backgrounds still look awesome on this game, though. I think that's maybe all I wanted to see it. I haven't seen some of the background things. There's just like one stage where you play like on a roof, and there's like raining or something. It looks really good. I think maybe it's on the second one. I don't remember. But I have a arcade 1-up that I modded. It was an X-Men, or yeah, it had like X-Men versus Street Fighter and a couple of like Marvel superheroes and stuff, but it was only like 3 or 4 games, and I switched out the board and I modded it with a Pandora's box, so I have like this game on there. But it's just nice to be able to play like, you know, with actual people online, you know. The original game board that I had though on that arcade 1-up, you could play it online, which is pretty cool. But, you know, I don't think it ran very well. You know, it wasn't like you can hook it up to like Ethernet or anything like that. It ran off of Wi-Fi.
Round 3, fight.
Long kick. Hey. Oh. Oh. Is his motion, is it the, I was just doing it like as if I were doing it on a S&K game. Cause, yeah, like what are his actual like motions? Like, yeah, see, they're not even, how do I can't even like scroll it to see what the moves are. Is it me, or is it not going? Yeah, I guess, is that the entire move list? Because the way I did the super, I did it as if like I'm doing it like his normal motion, because Iori's super is normally a fireball forward and then a half circle back motion. You know, I'm just assuming it's that. I can try a double fireball, but you know his double fireball super would throw the ground projectile where you can kind of stun him and then go into the that one. Look at oh my god, look at the sprites or the background guys, like they were like real people that were scanned. See, I kind of miss that era of sprites in fighting games. I mean, the stuff that nowadays looks really good, but like I miss that, like Mortal Kombat, you know, like sprite look where they just literally scan some real ass people and, you know, put them in there. Yeah, the AI on this kind of sucks, but I probably have it on those like difficulty settings.
Round 2, fight.
I'm over here like pressing just defend like I'm playing City of the Wolves or Mark of the Wolves, you know. Yeah, the AI kind of sucks. Look at that. I mean, it's like the more I play, the more I'm like remembering, like you know, like the muscle memory is starting to kick in on something. Oh shoot! Oh, you're kicking too much, man. I meant to see if the super is done the same way. I think it's just that, you know, I think like if you play that if you play the character the way that they are designed, I think they you know, work the same. Because like, you know, what was hard about the SNK's version of their, you know, crossover game was the motions in that game. It was, I don't know what it is about it was very strict. Like you, and it wasn't even like you had to be precise with doing like a fireball motion and things like that. It just would, sometimes those things would just not come out. I love Capcom's art, like their interpretation of the SNK characters. I think their art designs look amazing.
Round 1, fight.
King. Hey, look at that. Like you walking over the boards, like the boards start moving in the background. Oh, if you look in the background, I think that's like the it says San, like it's a market or something. That background is the was in Alpha, one of the Alpha games, Street Fighter Alpha. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Like as you're fighting, the boards on the wall on this side start getting out. It's like a kind of like a 7-Eleven or like a market or something. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to do this super without doing like the input of SNK's or Iori's like normal input to do a super. I'm just gonna do like a double fireball and see what comes out. See, it just does that. So yeah, the motion is for sure like SNK. So because yeah, the move list doesn't show that. Oh, they have EX moves. Or is that just what the super is? See? Let's see. Half circle forward is chargeable. Most likely. I mean, no, not Dan though. Usually on if it's SNK2, I'd be playing Iori, Kyosuke, from rival schools, and sometimes Blanca, and sometimes like Guile or Balrog. You know, I like charging characters, so. But I can play like motion characters as well. You know, on the SNK side, you know, I never rocked like somebody like say Kyo. Joe Higashi was my dude on this game though. I love some Joe Higashi.
Round 4. Fight.
Yosha! Akinaba! God, man, I just like missed the the feel of this game. Yeah, for sure. Vega, you know, even on the old school games, they played a lot of the charging type of characters. Of course, I played some Sagat too. Not as often. I liked him more in the Alpha series than I did in Street Fighter. I mean, I played him like Champion Edition Street Fighter when they first released like the bosses, like when Bison and Vega and Balrog and all them first came out. Yeah, for sure. I used Sagat. He was really hard to use in Super Street Fighter 2 for me for whatever reason. Just you know, the motion of his tiger knee and all that crap. He almost felt like an SNK character, you know? Oh man, I need to use this guy. Oh man. So I guess they just call is it this? Oh, no, I'm Joe. Not so much. No, not my style. That's why I think why I like charging characters. I like to be like I guess I would say I'm more of like a defensive player, you know. But if I did play a rushdown character, that's why I play like somebody like Joe or Iori. Those are rushdown characters to me. But I don't play like the fast, like, you know, small character. Oh man, I'm over here thinking I'm Joe and I'm like freaking Dan. Oh. So everybody gets the roll. Okay. See, that's the thing. They made this game a little bit more universal. Some zoners, yeah. Not often. If I play a zoner, it'll be like if it's like a really weird, unique character in a certain game, like Darkstalkers or something. Oh man. I'm trying to think. There's somebody that I like to play that's like a zoner. I mean, if I can compare to like maybe a modern game, like I've played a lot of DNF Duel. I used the gunslinger guy, and I thought of him as, oh, that was it. You know what? That's okay. I want to move on to the next game anyways, so we had our fun with this one for now. I didn't really want to beat it. I just wanted to just kind of go through a little nostalgia on that one. All right, I want to go backwards because I want to save SNK 2 for last. So let's go to Plasma Sword. So this is the one that was on Dreamcast. So this is the Plasma Sword is the sequel to Star Gladiator, which features Hayato, that character. If you play Marvel vs. Capcom 2, he's in there. But he had his own game, and the first game wasn't really well received because it was like on PlayStation 1 or something, very old, very dated. You know, probably about as old as something like Beasterizer, aka Bloody Roar. You know, it was like that era of like 3D games. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I play some grapplers. I like Zangief, but I forgot what game. I really like the grappler in there. I liked Armika. She's fun. But yeah, I can play them. I can pretty much play any type of, you know, character. I just don't like main them, or they're not like my preferred characters, but I can play them. So yeah, we're just jumping right into this one because we have no idea what we're going to be doing in this game. Although I should try to do training to see. Yeah, let's go into training on this one. I just want to see like how to play this game first. So this looks like the Eureka art style for Street Fighter EX, because the portrait pictures. That's the next game, really. It just, I don't know if it was, you know, Capcom can release it, but I think that they should do an Alpha EX Street Fighter collection, or that kind of genre, you know, that genre of fighting games from Capcom, because we don't know any of these characters, but this has that definitely that Street Fighter EX. I mean, look at this. This guy looks like a mixture of like Vega and Eagle and Dudley. You know? He looks like Skullomania. You know, like, I mean, man, what's going on here? It's like a sheep with a brain. I have no idea what the story is, but then there's Bill Stein. He used to always crack jokes about this game. The Nightmare of Bill Stein. Let's see here, Ryan. There's multiple Bill Steins, apparently. So this is a 3D game. I would say, yeah, that's because this was on a Dreamcast. It had that like Naomi board feel or whatever. This was one of those titles where like it wasn't shovelware, but it was just like, you know, you'd be playing like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or, you know, Street Fighter 3 over this. So I have no idea what to do in this game, but this will give us a look at like what the training looks like on these games, and that's what's going to be interesting to see on something like Powerstone if they happen to have a training mode in there. But it just gives you some information on like how to play the game. You know, you can kind of let's see what kind of training things do they show. The training menu here. So do they even give you like? I don't think they give you like frames or anything on this, do they? Yeah, I don't think they give you very much on this because, you know, this game was just... This was at a time when there was no such thing as a training mode, you know. I mean, they had training menus or training modes, or practice modes, I should say. But not necessarily like a training mode to, like, teach you the mechanics. Like, you guys are... You know, this generation of gaming, fighting game players, like with the Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 and, you know, those type of games, you guys have it all in those... It's like that stuff was like a long time coming, man. Like back in the day, we just had this. You know, we're lucky to even show that there was like how many frames a motion is. Like, see, it's telling me like how many frames I'm pressing the button. Oh, nice, man. When I get to that game, if I happen to see you on there, you can add me. I'm Batman333, and then you know, maybe I can join in some matches with you. So, let's see here. So he's just like a Ryu type of character, you know. Dragon Punches, Fireball, Hurricane Motion. Oh, I didn't even go to the background like that. It's like Tekken. Look at that. Early Tekken, y'all. So X, so the buttons here is like, short is square, triangle, and this is on a PlayStation, mind you. Circle, I guess, would be heavy attack. But then you got X, kind of like JoJo's. The new JoJo's All-Star Battle, they have like yeah, it's literally just like that game. Like, if you want to go to the background, you just press X. If you want to go to the foreground, you press down and X. That's exactly like All-Star Battle. So they probably stole that from this game. Let's see. Oh, I just did the plasma sword. Whoa! Hayato. Wow. Oh man, combos are kind of nice on this. I'm gonna try to explore this a little bit. All right, I think we got the gist of it. We're gonna go and do like just a little bit of the arcade. Let's go ahead and just get into the arcade. See if it's got some kind of story mode or something. Now that's what's nice about these ports on the collection. They're not entirely like the console version. These are like the arcade ports. If this is, yeah, see, this has free play. So this was in the arcade at a time. So this, you know, this is something I think is pretty cool to see.
Peace and harmony has spread throughout the world. However,
yeah, I have no idea what this game is about.
Now,
and thank you for joining the video, by the way. We got a few viewers here. Much appreciated. We're just celebrating the love of fighting games and celebrating the release of the Capcom Collection 2. And we're taking a look at Plasma Sword, a sequel to Star Gladiator. 3D Capcom game set in this sort of space setting, you know. You know, what's so funny is, like, you can look at characters, and you can tell when it's like a Capcom game and when it's like, you know, an SNK game or whatever it is. When it comes to like the 2D type of games, in this case 3D, but. Alright, Nightmare Bilstein. We're going to go ahead and go with Hayato because he seemed to be a pretty good ass kicker. Huh, look at this guy. I don't know what I did with that plasma sword deal. Maybe I'm assuming it's something with your meter. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the thing about Capcom games. Like, if you played one, you can kind of, like, know how to do certain, like, mechanics. Because this literally plays like any Capcom game you've ever played. Just in 3D. Really reminds me a lot more of, oh, nice. You can do dashes. It reminds me a lot of, EX. Which was pretty fun. I used to hate it when it first came out, but then once you kind of, like, learned how to do some of the cool combos in that game, like, that game was everything, man. Oh man, what do I do? I do throw. That's what I do, and I get a perfect. Oreo! I get my first trophy for this game. You know, that was the thing back then, and it's like, they couldn't, like, get the art to look, like, the same way on the 3D. You know, like, I'm looking at this looks like, what's that guy in Battle Arena to Shinden? It just looks like a better, like, updated graphics of that game, you know? In terms of the way they do 3D. Yeah, I agree, man. I think that's the next, like, thing that people want. They want, like, oh no! I think they want, like, a more legit version of Street Fighter 3. I think they kind of dropped the ball in that last, like, collection. I mean, I have it, I play it, but it plays like doo-doo. I cannot stand it, you know, like, you know, that's the nice thing, you know, for those that don't know, so these Capcom collections, not only do they make them online, but they give them rollback netcode so that you can kind of have a better online gameplay experience when you're, you know, playing a versus fighting game or whatever with people out from different parts of the world. You know, you can play with someone in Europe and Asia, and it'll play almost as if you're like in the same, you know, same area, same region, through a little bit of technology wizardry to allow, you know, your inputs to kind of get a little delayed so that it matches as if you're playing. Oh, hit him with the sword. You know, so you have a much consistent experience. It's sort of like. It sort of like records the frames and kind of interprets what would have been pressed if it were at that exact moment, you know, because of the data that's being transferred back and forth between you and the other player. That was the big thing, you know. See, this is to show my age here. Back in my day, but back like when we didn't have like online and we didn't have Xbox Live and PlayStation Network and things like that, even barely dial-up. There wasn't really like broadband internet, you know, stuff like that. We had not so great internet, but when we did have internet, that was somewhat okay. That was a sort of like the era when there was, I want to say this is like 2006, 7, 8, you know, that around that period, where we started to get into the emulation scene. And what was so cool about that is people found ways of playing like all these old, you know, fighting games. And that's why these collections are a big deal. Like I used to play on something called KWAX and MAME with Calera. You know, it was basically, there was just guys that just figured out how to connect you to other players, but make these ROMs of old arcade games, you know, anything that you've played from your past, and you can play them against people. And that's how we were playing things like, you know, X-Men vs. Street Fighter and all this stuff against other players. And mind you, there wasn't like arcade sticks, there weren't like fancy joypads, there weren't, you know, it was just some straight up keyboard warriors playing on the keyboard, you know, using the arrows or the WASD keys and things like that. And it was pretty cool. And you know, and it played okay. You know, it wasn't like to us back then. You know, it could have been like horrible netcode, but to us, it just the fact that you could like play a game like that and it looked and felt like you were playing in your living room with that person. It used to be amazing to me. So, nice. Oh, so that's how you. I didn't even realize that's how you got the ultimate Rugal. See, man, I haven't played this thing in so long. That's cool though. Maybe I'll see if I can do as well. Yeah, he's just saying that. Guy in the chat was just saying he's playing through CVS 2, and if you go through it without dying, basically, or continuing, you'll get out the ultimate Rugal, which is like a super hard, you know, boss in the game. SNK character, by the way. But yeah, you know, that was what was cool. You know, like just playing this now reminds me of those like all those years ago. You know, like we're like, man, you know, this is just how we're gonna, you know, this is like the future. You know, being able to play ROMs, you know, emulated games that were in the arcades. Some of those games died out. You know, but then you know. It got more elaborate, man. You know, you thought you could just play the Street Fighter 2 and, you know, the CPS 1 games, and then they started getting CPS 2, and then there was the challenge of getting the CPS 3 games, because what made them unique was that they had ROMs on the arcade board, but in addition to that, they ran CD discs to do, like, the audio and stuff. So, you know, it was like, how do you play that game if you need that, you know, CD-ROM, you know, inside. How do you emulate the CD-ROM audio, you know, on just game files? And they found a way to do it. You had to get these like CHD files that had all the audio. Because you know, when you play like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, I mean, you know, make your first move. What's it gonna be? You know, it was just like real ass music and stuff, and you know, it was ahead of its time back then. All of these games, you know, all the Marvel vs. Capcom, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, all of those, they were just ahead of their time, man. But here we are, you know, we went from emulators to, you know, and that's the cool thing. It's like, then the modern day emulator now is like, what, Fightcade? Everybody's playing on that, and then they're playing these exact games on there, you know, but there's still that whole thing of the fact that they're, you know, illegal ROMs and whatever. And but the people were playing them, and it started to bring out a new community of fighting game players. You know, people who've never been exposed to these type of games when they were first released. You know, for some of those guys, it was basically like, what do you call it? Like, you know, they picked up just as if they, you know, they played it since they were, you know, like our age back then, and so I think like that's what's nice about these collections is to finally, you know, give us a nice online network infrastructure, a good platform for, you know, cross-play to, you know, to bring all those guys together. Because, you know, and kudos to those guys for getting all that work in to make things like Fightcade and, you know, Calera from back in the day. Because, you know, it just helps like to find, you know, new players out there, and players that are just you know, like beasts at these games. You know, and it's, you know, you get unknown Justin Wongs and unknown Daigos out there. You know, unknown, you know, people like Menard or whatever, sorry, Menard. I call him Menard, but I know it's Menard, but. Yeah, like, you know, just seeing those type of guys come out now, you know, because they're of this generation, and us old guys are just kind of, you know, reminiscent about the past, but still have, you know, have the ability to play these games with everybody. Because, you know, you got those guys that I'm sure there's some plasma sword nerd out there who probably just destroys people. Nice. Congrats. Did you get a trophy for that? Looks like you beat the ultimate Rugal. Oh man, what is this thing, man? I'm like half paying attention to what I'm doing, and I'm like doing all those like combos and things with this game, and that's what's nice about Capcom games. They were just kind of easy to get into and pick up and play, and I think that's why these games kind of stand the test of time, you know, because people, like, think of how old Capcom vs. SNK2 and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, think how old those games are, and people are still playing them, you know, like playing them like they're as if they're new. Like, I mean, like, this is new to people, like some of these games, and I wasn't expecting to play this game for this long. But for some reason, it's pretty fun, and I think I might try to, like, beat more of this game with other characters. And I will even play some people online. I will show them the Plasma Sword Master. No, not really, but this game is pretty fun. I just like the feel of it, actually. It feels, like, pretty smooth with Giant Attack. Oh, cool. Is that, can anybody do that? Or is that just like this? Is that where they get Giant Attack from? Street Fighter 3 Giant Attack. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get off of this now. I just don't wanna. Because I want to get to, like, Rival Schools and Powerstone is the one I'm really excited to play. I haven't played that in, like, ages. Alright. We're good. We're gonna drop out from this for now. But yeah, it was just nice just strolling down memory lane. So Project Justice. Alright, so Project Justice, cool. They got the Japanese version. Is the sequel to Rival Schools. Now, Rival Schools was a tag, like 2 versus 2, but you only use, like, one character at a time. But you can call it, you know, like Marvel vs. Capcom, basically, but just a 3D version of it. You know, you get only 2 people. And what sucks, though, is I don't know if they don't have, like, the home version of it on here. I wish they added that as part of the collection. I think this is just going to be the arcade, but the home version had, like, a storyline mode, and you know, you got to do, like, different things in the game, you know, from what I remember. But I used to love Rival Schools in the arcade, man. That game was so fun, and I think people are still waiting for a new one. I think they should bring it back, you know. It was another one of those, like, ahead of its time type of games, you know. It was right at the cusp of X-Men vs. Street Fighter and those type of games. Batsu. And I think the latest, one of the latest, like, seasons in Street Fighter 6, they have the Rival Schools thing going on. I used to love this artwork, man. Whatever scanline this is, or graphic display thing I selected, I like it. It makes this game look really good. It really pops. Oh, okay, they do have, well, story mode is probably just like arcade mode. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that they had this. But the story mode I'm referring to, though, it's not like, we'll see. We'll see, because I used to like this guy. Yeah, I used to like the sports team. Okay, yeah, this is, I guess this is, no, see, the story mode, see, it says join us. So this would be like as if you're playing the arcade. So maybe in the arcade, this is just the arcade, you know, you get an ending and stuff, as to where the free one is probably just like you pick your characters. And, I guess you're kind of stuck with whatever team you pick here. But what I'm talking about is they had like a full-on, like, you know, you had to do, like, you had almost like an adventure mode in the game. Alright, let's see. I'm a little rusty on this game, so I'm gonna see if I remember what to do. I love the sound effects in this game too, man. Like the hits and you Like they had some cool sound effects on the. I'll go Roberto, man, because he has the cool ass soccer player, you know. Well, and she's the volleyball player. I like her too. Yeah, see, so in this one they give you 3 partners, but back in the first one, I think like you only had 2. But I think it's just like you control 2 people at one given time. I don't think you can switch out to. Yeah, so like they had like pop-ups, you know. Oh, that's the double team-up move there. You press like the 2 heavies. And this is a 6-button game, so... Oh no. Yeah, this is definitely... I think it was like a... Let me see. I think this is a 6-button game. Nope, that's right. It's 4. Yeah, lights, 2 lights, 2 heavies. Throw party up. Oh, okay. They just map some other things in there, like special moves. That's why. Okay, that's fine. I'm not too concerned about all that. I just wanna... But it works just like any of the Capcom games or any other fighting games. You know, just shorts into heavies into a special. You do something. But I'm trying to remember how to do the pop-up. Say at the mid-match you can switch between your characters. I still think this game looks great. You know, it's dated, but I like the 3D designs on this. I miss these kind of 3D games. It reminds me of like Fighting Vipers and old school Virtua Fighter. Oh, there you throw me. Oh, there it is. That's it. I found it. I thought I found it. Yeah, it's like down towards the character, and then you pop them up. Yeah, so yeah, I think you get 3 characters, but you only have to beat 2 of them. Oh, and at the end you can move the camera around. Yeah, I remember it now. It's just like Marvel. You know, like they had those kind of attacks, like normal attacks that would pop a character up, where you have to hold like down towards and the attack. Can we just press start now? I'm just trying to get through it. Oh, I had to pick between 2. I don't want to. Let's try Momo. Let's see what Momo is about here. Now this game I had, but I didn't play it very often, only because there was just so many things to play out back in the day. And I think I had this and I just never went through it all. Then again, I think like PlayStation 3 or something came, it was coming out after. Like this is one of those like later, okay. I just did the pop-up for her. Damn, you got slapped. Oh, she's a tennis player? Yeah, so once you can pop them up, you can like continue like combos, but then like you should be able to... I'm gonna do this. What's that? I thought that you could call in your partner. And then they got 2 different types of team-up attacks. And then they got supers. Oh man. Which are just like, usually like, what are they, double fireball motions or something? Yeah, they're just like double fireball motions. It was a pretty simple game. You know, it wasn't very difficult to play. I'm gonna try that again. Here's that tennis ball. Oh, hell no. Team up. Yeah, and after you can continue once you finish up a tune-up, I think. You need to stop like popping me up. See, that's what I don't remember is super jump, rival launcher. See, it's down towards or forward kick, and then you gotta jump up after the person. Which punch is it? It's gotta be the heavy one. Can't just... Yeah, I see it. I just saw her do it. Damn. Oh no. Dead. Yeah, that's a little of Rival Schools. You know, I think I played Plasma Sword way longer than I needed to play it. I just wanted to kind of skim through these. Powerstone. Okay, so if we're going to do Powerstone, let's start with Powerstone 1. So, let me tell you right now, back in my day, I'm going to keep throwing that out there, 49-year-old here, so. No, but back in the day, you know, Nintendo 64 was out, and PlayStation, you know, came out, and a lot of people had those systems. But then, you know, once that period kind of happened, then we were getting into like Sega Saturn, you know, the CD type of consoles were reigning supreme and all that. So this does have a training mode. Cool. But then Sega decided to put out the Dreamcast. Now, this is one of those things where they released the system. It was ahead of its time. I'll say that much. It was ahead of its time. Everything about the Dreamcast was awesome. Great library of games. They used a different kind of storage disc. It wasn't a CD. It was like a GD-ROM or something like that. But it was basically like a CD-ROM. It just could hold more data on it. And there was just this little game called Powerstone. Now, while you guys are still out playing Nintendo 64, and you had Smash Bros. Or Smash Brothers, because I remember back in the day when they had the commercial for, the four characters like Pikachu, Mario, and somebody like Zelda or something, or Donkey Kong, and they're like walking, and then they all start hitting each other. I remember that commercial well, and I was just like, this is silly. Why are they doing a fighting game, with these, like Mario and Pikachu and all that stuff? And, it was just like one of those things where you're just like, I would never play that. And it ended up being like a pretty popular game, back then. It wasn't like, knocking out Street Fighter or anything like that, but that was like the birth of the platform fighter, right? Well, it was only months after that game was released, because it was released, I believe, in the same year, but Powerstone, or Sega, was releasing the Dreamcast, and this was one of those games on the Dreamcast that was one of their flagship games. And I'm telling you, when this game first came out, we could not stop playing this game. It was just so fun, and it's a platform fighter, so essentially, I think what it was is that Capcom saw that this was a new thing coming out, and they're like, you know what, let's put one of those kind of games out too. And it doesn't have anybody that in the current fighting games now. They make references, and they kind of give these characters shout outs, in other types of titles and stuff. But for the most part, this was just a game that was just, it's almost one of those things you say to yourself, you just had to have been there, But now we're here, so people get to play this, and I'm actually going to try this one online, to be honest. I'm going to play a little bit of the arcade to just kind of give the gist of Powerstone, but it's a platform fighter. You're in a boxed-in arena, very limited area. You can go. You can only move within the area of the ring, and you collect these little Powerstone gems. And when you collect them all, that's how you do your supers. So you don't have like motions or nothing. You just walk around, and you literally have like jump and like 2 attack buttons, and that's all you got. So it's literally like, I want to say, this was my Powerstone, or my Smash Brothers, because I played this more than I ever played Smash Brothers back in the day. So, but man, this game looked really great, and I think this even had like a story mode when you had the home version. But this is the arcade one. This is my guy right here. I used to always like Jack. But you got like, you know, Falcon and Ayame. She's pretty cool. Wang Tang. Everybody uses Wang Tang. Excuse my French, but everybody uses freaking Wang Tang. But we're gonna go with Jack. And it's nice to finally play this game where it doesn't have any like graphical glitches and things like that. Because, you know, the only way to play this is if you either had a Dreamcast or if you played it on emulator. And what was nice about Fightcade is that you could play it online with, you know, people. But now, you know, you got it for, you know, you can play it legally now and play it with lots of people. But yeah, so, you know, you just have your standard fare, man, and like you can interact with things in here. You can like pick up like this little gun thing right here. Pick that up, start shooting people, you know, and you gotta get that other gem out of them. And that's how you, how to, you know, that's the whole allure of the game. Just picking up, oh, there you go, and then you get this guy here, and then boom, super time. And your supers are just like, it's an endless, like, you can spam, like, some characters had better, like, moves than others, and, you could, yeah, be really cheap, you know, so, some of the moves are really cheap, because they, like, go across the screen, or, you know, and then there's things like, you can, like, hang on, stuff like that, you know, attack people. I'm just saying, man, this game was just fun. I think this was, like, way more fun than Smash Brothers. And I think that Capcom should I would highly recommend for them to put another type of game like this out. Because it was stupid, simple fun, man. And that's, I think, what made it work. The second one was fun, but it didn't have it got, like, too crazy. It got more like Smash Bros. Than this one. But, I don't know, it was just, this game had a good feel to it, you know, it had, felt great playing it on analog stick, because, you know, when you're playing fighting games, analog stick isn't so great to play, a lot of times, and, this is one of those games that felt good to play on an analog stick. Oh, get the gem, yeah! And see, that's what the fun of the game was just trying to get the gem, you know, fighting over that, so. Hell yeah, man. Powerstone, man. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you back. Like, I feel like I'm right back, you know, like, late 90s, man. Like, just before Y2K and all that. Oh, yeah. You know, it took a special kind of skill to dodge, like, certain things, too, man. You just have that one guy in the arcade that just like, oh my god, he's a badass at this game. There's throws. Oh, shoot. And, that's how you know, you have to know, like, how to extract the gems from the characters. You know, oh, shoot. So once they get it, man, it's over. And if you dodged all their supers and stuff, like, you'd be like, oh, man, there's, like, no way I'm gonna win this. Because they just, you know, the moves will just cover the entire ground of this, you know, stage or whatever. And man, this looks so good. It looks like as if this was just made just yesterday, man. Oh shit. Hey, oh no. So, when someone gets their super, you just pretty much have to, like, avoid them at all costs until they run out of that meter. Just like that. And then you gotta try to keep them away from the weapons and stuff, too. Yeah, and there's, like, combos, and, you know, there's just a lot of stuff. There we go, look at that come back. Yeah, you can just, like, zoom in and... There we go. And the other thing too is that this is a 4-player game, so you could play with like 4 4 people, I believe. Because back then the Dreamcast had 3 ports, and you could hook up like 4 controllers to it. Oh, come on. How do you get a throw? Oh no. And you got all the gems already? What the hell? I was trying to break the glass so I can go inside that thing. Oh. Yeah, he got me. But yeah. Powerstone. Awesome game. Alright, let's get on to Powerstone 2. It's more of the same, but the difference with Powerstone 2 is that they gave you like more stages and stuff, and the stages were like kind of like how modern day Smash or platformer games are now, where they got like, you know, one of the stages where it's like super huge and the characters are tiny and you're just jumping up like a ladder or a waterfall or, you know, stupid crap like that. But it was like they had boss fights in this, so you're constantly fighting like these boss characters in it, and it was just kind of, it felt more like a single player game than it did multiplayer. It had multiplayer, but it just didn't feel like the first one. The first one I think was a lot better, and I think like if Capcom were to make another Powerstone game, they need to make it like the first one, but just maybe make the stages a little bit bigger, or, you know, zoom in and out with the camera work, and, you know, just the fun elements of, you know, in interacting with the environment and the items and all that stuff.
And transported to the floating castle. What will happen to our heroes? Welcome to the Powerstone world.
But this one did look significantly better, and it had a little bit more characters. Let's go with like Wang Tang, cause just because. But see, you can come in now. I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't remember it having an arcade game, because I just remember it being released on Dreamcast. But you know, the Dreamcast was, you know, was an arcade board. The Naomi engine. Yeah, there's just something. Yeah, see, like the stages were a little bit bigger, right? And it's the same game. I mean, you know, you can still play, but then later on, like you end up fighting like bosses, but like with the other people. And then there's like one stage where you're like, falling out of the sky, and who got the other one? See, this is where it just gets chaotic, you know, because it's hard to see. That's why I think like the first one worked a little bit better. Oh, did I get all of them? Yes, I did. And he was basically like Goku. I thought Wing King was the one that turns into... See what I'm saying? Like, it gets a little chaotic. Like, you know... now I gotta figure out where I'm at, you know. That's why I said I don't think this one was as fun. But it looked good. But I hate these type of stages, you know. It's hard to, like, you know, zone out the characters and figure out how to get them, and, you know, you end up running out of the time, and then all it is, it makes it too chaotic to get all the gems. Ooh, and that sword guy's really good. Oh shoot, I didn't know you can hang on the boards. Yeah, see? Yeah, see, it's like, you don't know, like, where you are in the foreground or the background sometimes. And... Okay, I got all the rings again. What the hell just happened? I just had all my gems, and I was about to do his Goku super, and someone went into the wall, I guess. Yeah, I just need to fight. Maybe I just need to like, hit people instead of trying to get the gems. Oh. Yeah, there's no block button too. It's just all offense. Platforming offense. Okay, get the gems. Get me. Oh. save when you get the gems, man. It's like you're in God mode. Whoa. I think what's different though is like, no, it's still 3 gems. Oh my god, I do not even know which one I am now. That's one thing I hated about the second one. You don't have a good sense of like who you are when they zoom the camera out so much like that, and it makes it too chaotic. But I'm beating up the guy and I'm taking his poker chips out of his ass, I know that much. Yeah, get out of here with that mess. Okay, so somebody's dead. But look how much time it gets taken away too. Like, you know, it takes forever to like win a match.
Fight on to victory.
Okay, and that's how they handle it, sudden death. And then, you know, and then it's just a matter of like who gets the gems at the end, you know. But if you're the last person to get the gems, everybody else is gonna pretty much die. So I guess I won with that. Okay.
Keep it up.
I didn't realize it was 2 people. I thought it was just me.
Hey now, watch your step. Don't fall off, because it's a long way down from here.
I think this is the stage where you fall down and you start fighting while you're like fighting in the skies, like through the clouds and stuff. I think the ship breaks. It's like an airship. And I think, yeah, you can even control the guns and stuff. I mean, like, you know, this game, it's fun. It's just, it's too much, I think, is the problem. It's just too much. You know. And it can be frustrating because you don't know where you're at. Like, this is definitely not as fun as the first one. I think, like, that's kind of like overall. But, you know, it's nice that they included it because, I don't even know where I'm at right now. I'm so over here getting hit by the freaking gun guy. So it's like, you know, you gotta stop the guy that has the gun because he's obviously gonna just keep shooting with the gun, so. And maybe that's when, like, getting the gems helps out because otherwise... But the thing is that you get shot with a gun, you end up losing the gems, so it just makes it, like, redundant. Like, you can't... So you can't stay in there forever. Right? He's gonna eventually have to, like, get out of there. But look at that. Look how much damage I'm taking. Like, I'm not gonna win this match because that freaking gun. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, you know. You know what? I think I do remember this being in the arcade now. Because I remember, like, seeing this somewhere. I don't know, maybe it's a Mandela effect. You've never played this in the arcade. It's just in your mind. I can't even hit like one person. It's all over the place. Yeah, this is kind of one of those games where you just gotta know like mobility, how to get in and out of like the background stuff, and like how to utilize that stuff, or how to get in. There you go. Oh, I thought I was in the tank. Unless that guy's on my... No, he's an enemy, because it's just tourists. Oh. Yeah. I used to get... I think this is exactly the reason why I never played this game. I used to be so frustrated. Like, this to me feels like how Smash Brothers feels. You know, where it's just like, it can... Like, the stages can get, like, so huge, and you have no sense of where you are, and all that stuff. But anyways, that was Powerstone. Now, the next game... I'm sorry I'm going through this like in an awkward way because we're saving the best for last, obviously. But this is Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper. So Upper is more or less a version of the game that was kind of released on. It wasn't released on like a console or like a, you know, like a PlayStation 2 or 3 or anything like that. I believe this is a game that was only released on like the Vita. Or the, you know, one of the Sony handheld ones, and I think maybe in some instance in the arcade in Japan or something. It's like a very like rare version of the game. Like it was supposed to have introduced like some additional characters that were not in Street Fighter 3 Alpha, And I don't know, we'll see if there's some differences between the English and Japanese version, but for the most part, let's go to training mode. I wanted to see the character list. So it has Evil Ryu, it has Junie and Julie, or at least one of the versions had Julie and Junie, the Bison dolls. And it had Eagle, but it's this version of the game, from my understanding, isn't that version. Yeah, there's Julie and there's Junie. And it doesn't have him, but it did include Fei Long, who wasn't in this, and I think like T-Hawk or something like that, yeah. But for the most part, it's just Street Fighter Alpha 3, and it has DJ and Guy, Cody, Adon, and Seldon, Gen. And, it's Street Fighter Alpha 3. I would have preferred if they released that version that had the additional characters, because Eagle was in this game. And when we get see, that's the whole thing, and that's why I went backwards, because what happens is all the games that I kind of went through, those characters end up kind of showing up in Capcom vs. SNK2, some of them, or they're in the background, or and I'll point those things out when we get to that. So that's kind of why I was going through this. This was just like my little stroll down memory lane. But let's go ahead and rock some Ball Rock. Now, this is what the thing with Capcom vs. SNK2 is, that you get to pick these like different modes for that character. So like Xism in Street Fighter 3 is just basically you get one big super. You get a different, it's a very powerful, hard-hitting super, but, you have to build up a large meter, and, once you use it, you gotta build it all back up again. There's no double jumping, there's no, air blocking, or there's no, it's just, straight up Street Fighter. It's, almost like Super Street Fighter 2, style. Then you got A-ism, which is Alpha-ism, which is more of like the Street Fighter Alpha sort of like gameplay engine, where you got multiple layered supers at level 1, 2, and 3. So you have a Super Fireball at level 1, and then if you press like multiple buttons, like 2 punches, then you do a level 2, and if you do all 3, you'll do the level 3 super, which does more damage. But you can also save what level, like you could do like a level 1 super move, but then chain it into another level 2 super move. You can kind of use your meter in that way. And then it had the alpha counter, which is basically when you block and you do the input, you'll kind of counter back the character. I want to say that this has the air block and air throw and stuff like that. And then V-ism is there's no supers, but it's you get to do these combos where you trigger there's a meter on the bottom, and when you press the 2 heavies or the 2 punches or the 2 lights together, you'll trigger that kind of you'll trigger the meter, and it just sort of burns down until it runs out, and then you gotta wait for it to build back up. But what you could do with that is you'll do these custom combos, is what they called them back then, where your character gets replicated, and the shadows of that character will kind of if you do a jab, the shadow will then jump and do a jab, and then another shadow will jump and do a jab, and you just sort of chain these crazy combos by delaying your attacks, and you can do all sorts of crazy stuff. So now that I think of it, I used to use V-ism a lot, and I used to use Charlie on this game. That was the guy I used. And here's that turbo thing coming up that I was mentioning earlier. So you got turbo 1 and 2. This is kind of a standard affair in most of the Capcom fighting games, of this decade genre. So I guess we'll just go ahead and train with that. I'm just curious. I should have picked V-ism. Oh, there's Akuma's stage. So yeah, so this is what I wanted to see. So in some of these training modes, when you play, you get these little hit boxes, and it kind of gives you what the range of an attack is, and then you can kind of see how fast the frames are when you press that button. So that's 7 frames of a jab I just did, 4 frames of a jab, 2 frames of a jab, You know, that's the fastest probably jab. There, 1 frame of a jab. You know, that's just literally like grazing over the button. But for the most part, you get to see the length of an attack, where the hitboxes are, where you're vulnerable at, you know, like where you can be hit at, you know, stuff like that. So, and the red is just the contact of where the, you know, the actual attack is. So, like, you can see, like, if I'm trying to hit here, the red is gonna miss as far out as I'm at, but until I move a little bit more closer. But see, that's the hitbox. I have to be able to hit that red box onto his, like, green box, you know. So that's how that works. Anyways, this is Balrog. I was gonna. Did they have the? You know, see, they don't have the triple button set. They just have the super. But this is one of those games where, like, you got to use all 3 of the buttons at the same time to do stuff. So, like, say you want to do, like, you know, like a super like this. What is this super? I think it's forward, back, forward. Yeah. So I just did a level 1. Or am I thinking of Alpha 2? Maybe Alpha 2 is like, no, I'm doing a level 1. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Like, that's not that in this game. Maybe I'm thinking of Alpha 2, but, like, there's a way to, like, you know, go into stuff and then kind of, because I don't remember it just being like 1 super meter. Yeah, okay, that was a level 1. Okay, that's right. I was correct. So if you do it with 1 button, that's a level 1. And then if you do it with 2 buttons, that's a level 2. But you can go from like a level 1 to a... and then to a level 2, you know, afterwards if you're fast enough. Which was almost impossible on these charging type of characters in this game, but I used to be able to do some crazy stuff like that. Like, you know, I know Charlie can do it. You know, like he can throw his like sonic booms and then go into like his other kind of super. You know, you do like a level 1 sonic boom super into his like rushing attack and stuff like that. But alright, I just wanted to see, you know, it's training mode, you know, it's gonna have, like, I think it can record, inputs from the second player, so if you want to practice, like, blocking and countering attacks and seeing how fast your frame of your, anti-air punch or kick or something, you know, but we're just gonna play a little bit of the arcade. So, speaking of which, let's go with Charlie. Let's get one of these. Let's see if we can refresh our memory. And what I do need to do, though, is I do need to change the buttons. I want the heavy kick. Yeah, everything is correct. I just need this to be punches, and then this one to be, like, kicks or something. Yeah, there we go. That's how I like to do my Street Fighter Alpha settings. Good old Charlie. Oh god. I used to use Blanca on this team. He's good in Alpha 3. So. See, that's what I was saying, like, you just use the shadows to the attack, and then you know, you get like the custom combo there. See, it's like riding a bike, man. When you play these old school games, like, you just don't forget them. Like, the way that fighting games play now, they don't feel like these types of games, you know, like, the timing is more strict and, just different, you know, and it's not to say that, you know, I can't play these newer games. It's just they feel more different than these older ones. You know, we played these for so long that they just, you know, you just don't forget how to play them, you know. Oh, yeah, that was a nice thing in this game. You can, like, pop people up. Oh, shoot. Oh, nice. Damn. See, that's the bad thing about Musuem is once you get hit out of it, you know, you waste the meter, and then you gotta build that all back up again. But yeah, if you're like in that mode, you can just like throw like a million like projectiles.
Too easy. You win! The world's might never see a battle like this.
And yeah, and this is where a lot of these like characters come from. You know, there's some people who've never played an alpha game, but would play like Street Fighter 4 or Street Fighter 5, and those characters that were in, you know, like Corinne and, you know, Armika and stuff like that. This is the game that they came from. So, you know, that's not to say that they maybe didn't play them. I just remember, like, when they gave you the option of picking the different isms, you know, there was always a debate on, like, which one was good. For me, I never used X-ism, often, unless it was with, like, certain characters. It was just, you know, it's just one of those things where... Hold on, I'm trying to get my Charlie on over here. It was just one of those things where, like, you know, custom combo or A-ism. Like, no one ever picked that game. Because it took away some tools, you felt a little, like, more stiff, I guess. And, you felt a little bit more restrictive. How do we do start button? Still the same. Like I said, man, you never forget these things.
You proved yourself. Yeah, the world's waiting for you.
And then I think an alpha counter is like you hold back and then you press like forward like you're doing a sonic boom and a pair of buttons. I forget which pair. Let's see. This is a basic. Yeah, same strength. So it's just any like, you know, they made the alpha counter different on this one versus the older, like the earlier alpha games. The third one made it to where like you just do a charge back and forward and any the two shorts or the two mediums or the two pierces. As long as they're the same strength. Oh, I keep hitting the I keep hitting the middle pad button. They need to make a lock on that. There's the alpha counter. And so, yeah, the reason why I was kind of breaking this down is because we're going to be going into SNK versus Capcom 2, and a lot of the mechanics you see in a lot of these games are kind of implemented in there. Like, even as deep as, like, rival schools, you know, like how they have, like, pop-ups. I didn't do this. I think I did it one time when I played rival schools earlier, but, like, the only character that's from rival schools, because I think they got Batsu in there, too, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Batsu and Kyosuke? I don't know. We'll go see. But anyways, they have the pop-up in there is what I was trying to get at. You can do like his like down towards attack, and he'll go into the pop-up, and then you can kind of do like their attacks. So this is a little bit of Alpha 3. I wasn't too excited about this just because I have this in the collection, and you know, the one Street Fighter collection they put out. But you know, I just don't know what's unique about Street Fighter 3 Upper to warrant it to be in this collection, to make it, you know, like it'd be different if it's like you play through it and you unlock. Oh, that was the other thing about Alpha 3 Upper on the Vita or the PlayStation Portable, whichever thing it was on. It had this awesome World Tour mode. So like the Street Fighter 6 World Tour mode, they kind of took a page from this game, where you go through and you can kind of customize different characters. You can take them and play through with them. You know, you would just give them like make their moves a little bit more unique, and you know, just kind of like the World Tour in the 6. But you know, it was a little limiting. But then they also had like dramatic battle and stuff like that in the Alpha series, where you and a friend could take on like a super hard version of like Akuma, or excuse me, not Akuma, but Bison, and that was really fun. Now, Capcom Evolution. Okay, Fighting Evolution. So, I'm not going to play a lot of it, but I do know that a lot of people hate this game. I don't hate the game, but I don't think it was great. It was just one of those things where it was kind of like, this was something that just got to a point where Capcom just said, fuck it. You know, they just put some shit out, and it was like, it kind of was okay, but then it was not really. You know, they try to hype up, you know, just their library of characters. So they included CPS3 characters, you know, Street Fighter 3. They included characters from Red Earth. Then they got Alpha, you know, characters, and then they got old OG Street Fighter characters. And so, you know, it was just it was an attempt to just kind of celebrate Capcom, but then it looked bad, and it didn't really do anything for anybody. It just looked really, it was like a very generic, it was kind of like I would say like this was a very soulless game that they put out, you know, because yeah, it was supposed to be representative of all these decades, you know, the different time periods of Capcom, and then they added Ingrid from God knows what she's from, but we're gonna go with Alex here. And it was a two-player, kind of like King of Fighters style. You know, you pick two characters, the other team picks two characters, and you go at it. I don't remember if you could switch out or anything like that. I remember I had this on the PS2 or PS3. I don't remember. But see, like, it doesn't even look good. Like, I don't think any amount of resolution thing you can do will make this game ever look good. Because I remember, yeah, I mean, see, right now, it kind of looks like Street Fighter 3, you know. And, you know, and the thing is, it's like, it's got the, it seems like it's using the assets of, like, those respective sprites from the games. But, you know, it looks out of place when you're playing, like, an alpha character versus, yeah, see, like, Guile, he's got, like, unnatural, like, animations, because he's, like, the alpha version, but compared to, you know, Alex here, he's a CPS 3 character, you know, he should have, like, much more frames of animation, and, you know, like, you're playing, like, a stiff character versus a more smooth moving character, and then you can pick, like, between the two on your next match. But this is all it really was, you know, like I don't even know what the deal is with the meter on the bottom. She's out of Vism, or, you know, where you do the custom combos, that's what it is. But I mean, this is it, man. It's just, you know, it's kind of soulless, you know, it's just a fighting game. What's that? Was that throw? Yeah. So short kick and short punch, that's it there. Yeah. This game was just such a miss. You know, washed out backgrounds. I like how uninspired, like, the backgrounds and stuff look. I don't know why they included this in the collection, to be honest. You know, I don't know what the... Like, look at this background. Like, what is this? Look. Like, barely anybody moving in the background. You know, it's like they put their heart and soul into a lot of these other games that have, like, so much personality and care, and it just seemed like this got in the hands of some guys like, just put this shit out because it's gonna make money because it's Capcom, but, you know, little did they know, it wasn't a very appreciated game. Over here forgetting I got, like, fierce attacks. I'm just getting fierce. Yeah, that's how old school I am, guys. Fierce attack is the heavy punch. For you, you know, or, what is it, whatever the other notation is. Oh, did I just parry? Yes, I did. Nice. Parry into a super. Now that felt like Street Fighter 3. That's Alex again. I guess if I had to be real though, I mean, I guess it doesn't look any worse than Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. I'm not talking bad about Street Fighter Third Strike, it's just that, you know, that game also had, you know, this sort of like problem with the background. I mean, as great as the sprites look, the backgrounds are very like, you know, unless you had a really high crisp CRT display or something, it looked kind of like that. Like, you know, this just looks like they took a real picture, photoshopped it, and kind of just added it to look like, you know, like it's a scanned image or something, and they just try to blend it in to look like a video game. I forgot who this means. Oh, he's from Red Earth. Let's see, this is that one stage I was talking about that's in Alpha. I guess they're in the same part of the city. Look how unnatural this looks. Fighting Sakura. It's, you know, they don't match up well. And I think, you know, I'm just trying to look at the animation of Alex real quick because, you know what, we can do this later. That's how bad this game is for a lot of people. I just don't even want to play through it. Cool, it's here, but do we need it? Probably not. Okay, so let's go ahead and just get right to the game we've all been waiting for, Capcom vs. SNK 2. Now, again, this is like the creme de la creme of Capcom fighting game. This right here is like the peak of Capcom after Street Fighter 3 Third Strike to me. Because this was, like I said, it was unprecedented to have SNK lend their characters and lend their, you know, trust Capcom with preserving the SNK characters in, you know, the vein of a Capcom fighting game. And so that's why this is a pretty big deal. I mean, 2001, dude. Like, come on, like, that's 24 years ago, you know? So this is almost 30 years of a game, half of, you know, my life. You know, I'm 49, so like this game, you know, is like half my age now. But what's cool about this game is just the presentation, the game engine, the mechanics, the flash, and then just the overall fact of, like, you know, trying to answer the question, who is better? Is Chun-Li better than Mai? Is Terry better than Ryu? Is Guile better than, like, Rugal? You know, that kind of stuff. So that's what was cool about this game. And add to the fact that, like, you know, on one side you have CAP and on the other side you have SNK, and those are the grooves. So you got a C groove, an A groove, and a P groove on the Capcom side for Cap, and then you have S and K, so you have S, N, and K groove. And so let's get into it. Enough talking about it. Let's just get into it, because this is a nostalgia like overload right now. Just to hear that music again. The last time I heard this was just on my PS3 and Fightcade. And I didn't even play Fightcade that often, just because, like, either I couldn't get good matches to run on there, or, you know, it just, you know, you had to play with the settings to get the game to look okay on your computer and all that good stuff. But let's take a look at the intro.
Capcom. This is the tournament for the new millennium. You'll experience
I used to love this intro so much. I still can't believe that this is here. You know, like, this was like a pipe dream back in the day, man. Like, just a few years ago, like, you didn't think that these games were ever going to be, like, in the limelight again. And I think it's thanks to games like City of the Wolves and, you know, Street Fighter 6 trying to bring back, different types of fighting game players out there. So I think this is a good thing. So here's the groove system that I was talking about. So you just pick one of the grooves and you just have to decide. And it gives you an idea what to expect. So this will have parry, this will have tactical, cover small jumps, hop jumps, and you can dash. I'm gonna go with B-groove just because I want to play B-groove, and then we'll look at maybe some of the other ones later. So let's do Kyosuke. Let's do Orochi Iori. And then let's do something a little crazy, and we're gonna go with, let's just go with Balrog. I want to see if I can parry into super. Oh, nice. Good deal, man. Oh yeah, and then they have the ratio system, so like, you kind of put like which character you want to have that's a little bit more powerful than the other. And usually you want that character to be like your anchor. You basically, like, you can have yourself only like 2 characters or 1 character. Like, you can make like 1 character and have him be like a ratio 4 character where he's just like super powerful, hard to beat, can take more damage, or you can split up the points so that you have 3 characters versus 1. Like that. See, there's that pop-up I was talking about. There's the Rufalmonger song. I know it's not Rufalmonger's song, but he has this on his videos. Shoutouts to Rufalmonger, man, for keeping it going, man. That dude, he puts in some work, and he really puts that passion into providing good content for fighting game players out there. Because, I don't think there's not a lot of people that have that level of care. Like a guy like Rufalmonger. Ooh. Roshkata. Roshkata. Sorry, I was just trying to refresh my memory on how to use him. But it's getting there. And his cool ash drip.
Live and let die. Fight.
Oh yeah, I should have cleared that. Well, I got one character out. He's kind of like supposedly a low-tier character in this one.
This is gonna be a match to remember.
Oh shoot, I got that Orochi guy. What do you get the last piece there? Oh, there you go. And it's going to be some good times ahead. I want to play this online. Alright, let's see. We'll go with Orochi. And I still need Balrog. I haven't up as level 2. We'll get a little head right there. Oh, we're going to get kind of faster. So you just defend. So that's kind of like, I always thought that was more of like Samurai Showdown, the way the meter is. And, but it has like Mark of the Wolves. And is medium do a full kill? Oh, shoot. the big one, and I wasn't even ready to parry.
This battle is about to explode. Wow, they came out with a crazy surprise attack at the start of the round.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of done going through just, you know, going through all the different games. I might just go ahead and try to do like a little bit of online and see what's up if you're trying to play, man. Like, I've always been more partial to like these types of fighting games, 2D fighting games over, say, Marvel vs. Capcom. You know, I know for some people out there that's probably blasphemous, but like, I just, yeah, I don't know. I like the style of this fighting game. You know, just straight up square, you know, without assists and calling in tag partners and all that good stuff. I mean, that stuff's fun, but I always appreciated these types of games, you know, a little bit more. You would throw me Oh wow, I was already all of the characters. Man, I'm just gonna pick Balrog just to kind of play him. And you can secretly pick your characters by pressing the different strengths. That's what that's for. Yep, it's a windmill stage.
Live and let die.
Oh shoot, got some Athena going on. What's up, Athena?
You can feel the calm before the storm as the round begins.
Oh, okay. I need to change the buttons. That's why I was like, why is he just doing like a delayed ass? There we go. Because, you know, a baller, you gotta. You know, one thing I used to do is the shorts, or the triples, because they are treated as shorts, but not in this game. But in other games, they're treated as shorts, and I used to have them as my shorts, or the triples, so that you can hold just a single button up on there. I was trying to see if I could parry, but one thing I don't think they added was red parry in this game, which would have been pretty cool.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack at the start of the round.
Man, I'm like holding it. Why did I not let it? There we go. This is a game I would prefer to play this on a fight stick. I have a 6-button. I have like one of those fighting commanding pads. Woo! That was a good thing. Yeah, but he's gonna die. I have a fighting commander controller where it's got the 6-button layout, but this is a game that I actually like to play on a fight stick. I have not migrated to leverless, but I have a leverless Vitrix, you know, arcade stick, or arcade controller. I should say stick, because it doesn't have a stick. It's a stickless arcade controller. But I'm still trying to. I still haven't adapted to the jumping mechanics. I mean, I know how to do it, and I can play, and you know, like Tekken is different. Like I can play like a 3D game on that a little bit better. But as far as like playing these 2D games, just the response time is way. My reactions are not the same on Legolas as they would be on. Oh my god. Oh, nice. yeah, my reaction times are not as good on leverless than I would be on a stick or a pad, so it'll just be some getting used to. Oh man, it's gonna counter me all day, huh? Is it really this? I'm trying to figure out if this is a special or a fireball method. Yeah, this is fireball method. Dang it. Man, I'm getting a lot of trophies. Oh, that was the last one. I didn't realize that was the last character. That's pretty close. Yeah. See, this is why I gotta keep this order, because maybe I shouldn't have picked Balrog. I should have picked something else. Now, this is what I was gonna show. So, Toto, he's from SNK, but see that guy right there in the red? He's from Powerstone. So, you know, it's like, that's why I wanted to go through all the games first, because they have a lot of that kind of like fan service in this game. You know. That's what I meant to do. Parry. Oh, got a parry super. Come on, I'm like doing my super right on it. Alright.
This is gonna be a match to remember.
See, one thing that they don't have in P-Group, which I kind of find a little annoying, is they don't have EX moves. So that would be like Street Fighter 3, you know? They just all they did was just add the parry and a short jump. That's kind of... And even then, like, the parry is like, is a very time restricted, like, yeah, input restricted, because you can't, like, just, it's not like the newer games, man, where, they give you a lot more time to kind of do it. It's just kind of like right as that thing is about to hit, parry that thing. There's Hydern right there on the top left, or bottom middle left. Alright, this is probably not going to be a very good matchup here. This is a ratio of 3. Oh, that's why. I wonder. They're doing like way more damage because they're higher ratio. Yeah, Balrog was a bad choice, though. I mean, he's the kind of character I would have to really play on a stick, to be honest. Playing him on pad is kind of annoying. Because I have a hard time holding on the, let's just pick one of the other grooves. So, let's see. Run, small jump, counterattack, and... So this would be more like, King of Fighters, kind of like, yeah, rolling, you know. Okay, groove. Oh, thanks, yeah. I like, the backgrounds on this game. Thanks you for joining, man. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Shoot. What did I say I was gonna be? I wanted to be... Let's go with our actual team. So let's go with Iori. Let's go with Joe. And let's go with, oh, where did we do that? We did one of the SNK grooves, I think. I don't know what everybody picked. Alright, let's go with Kyle. Alright, we're gonna do level 2 or ratio 2 with Kyle. Hey man, me too man. I've been hyped to play this thing for a while. Like I was saying earlier, how I used to, when I lost my PlayStation 3, I lost it at due to the hurricanes and all that. But I had the PlayStation 3 specifically because I still had this game and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on that console on the hard drive. Because, like, I didn't even like the disc drive didn't even work with it. And I kept it solely just because of these games. Because they weren't, I was like, they're never going to come out. I have preserved, like, history forever on this hard drive. And ended up losing that PlayStation. And here we are a few months later, and then we got all that back, and more, So, yeah. Oh, Falcon. Oh, that's right, I got Chesterton. No! You bastard. But yeah, so I'm excited. Glad that this stuff is out, and I'm glad that new people.
This is gonna be a match to remember.
Yeah, it's good to see that people get to play this now, and in droves, like online. I mean, this is gonna bring. Stop putting these damn counters too crazy. I'm excited to see like all the competition skin because, I used to, back in the day, I used to have a site with some friends and I did interviews and stuff, and I went to Comic-Con in 2008 and I ran into Alex Valle of Street Fighter Alpha fame, who the first ever famous rivalry in terms of Street Fighter and fighting games with Daigo. He was the original rival to Daigo before Justin Wong was. And I got to interview him because I recognized him immediately, because there used to be this documentary called Bang the Machine. And nobody got to see this thing because what happened was it was basically a fighting game documentary about people that go to EVO, and it featured the rivalry between Daigo Umehara and Alex Valle. And they had an awesome trailer. If you Google it, you can find the trailers and everything, but before they had a chance to release the film, like a couple, I guess a small community of people got to see it first. I don't even know what level I'm playing. I'm just playing on whatever basic difficulty it is. I'm just trying to, play through it. I don't care what the difficulty at the moment. I'm just trying to, do a little bit of videos in the game. Might play some online after this. But anyways, the Bang the Machine was the name of the documentary, and it looked awesome. It was, it had all the biggest guys from back then, James Chen, like when they were all young. And then something happened, and like the rumor is that they lost all the footage in a fire, so they never got to release the movie, the documentary out there. And it was something that I think would have been awesome if there's a way to kind of bring that back, at least bits and pieces of what was left, and then kind of put it out there. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. But anyways, the story to it was that I met Alex Valle, and at the time in 2008, they were playing Capcom vs. SNK 2. I was asking him one of my questions, like, well, what are you doing at EVO? And he's like, oh, I'm going to be playing Capcom vs. SNK 2. And this was right when Street Fighter 4 was just unveiled. They had arcade cabinets set up for Street Fighter 4, and I got to play a little bit with him on there. And then he was going off to EVO like just after that. So that was my story. About kind of being able to play a fighting game legend, and interviewing him and stuff. Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel somewhere. Pretty old video. It's actually one of my what got my channel monetized at one point. Where you can it unlocked the monetization because it got so many views. Oh man, I appreciate it. Oh, Yeah, I'm just kind of getting into streaming again, because I was trying to start up something, and then we got hit with the hurricanes, and, you know, I just didn't have the ability to do a stream, so now I'm kind of like back in a position to kind of do this stuff again, so I'm going to do more videos. I've been doing a stream on Expedition 33, and anything that's kind of new that comes out that kind of catches my interest that I would think other people would be interested in seeing. I am not even just defending anything. Getting lit. I was trying to parry, or forward parry. Just, oh, there's a just one. Oh man, I could not do tornadoes at all. Like, that's one of those natural disaster weather things that I don't know how I would handle that one. Like, I've seen like so many documentaries, and that's like one of my worst fears of doing a tornado, actually.
This is gonna be a match to remember.
Oh, wait, this doesn't have a roll. There's a Goku boy. Oh man. Right, you can tackle crack shoot. Like he's like spam much. I need to be doing my just defend there. Yeah, but guess what? I'm bringing Guile out the box, son. What are you doing with Guile? Yeah, no more of that much. Oh. Better Terry, why did he freeze up like that? Okay. Oh my god, he's gonna come back anyway. Ishi operation. Why does Gal have a speech impediment in this game? Great battles. I don't even think I'm getting any kind of boss or anything. I didn't continue. Or, you know, I did continue, that's right. I did continue because I forgot I switched characters. What's that? Oh. Akuma. I think he's like the hidden boss. Like if you win with the SNK character, you get like a hard version of Akuma or something, and then Rugal is the yeah. All right, so let me see if they still got I still got the. Symbol, the music symbol. Alright, so let's see. I actually want to try to do online. I'm gonna go through, let's do that now. We're gonna go through online since we're on this game. Let's go to online. I'd have to go to the main menu, I think now. Yeah, we gotta do online play. Because I want to try this out with some of these other types of games. So we're doing casual. We're not trying to do ranked just yet. I'm not in the condition to, training condition to play ranked at the moment for these games. Just because I haven't played Alpha in a bit. I haven't played Capcom vs. SNK in a bit. Let's see, how long are we going? We've been online. Oh, okay. We're doing all right. Yeah, I'm gonna check out the netcode. Let's see what the netcode looks like. Let's start with something light. Let's start with Powerstone. No, let's start with SK. Just because we didn't really play a lot of that. In-game standby? Yeah, let's do in-game standby. Wish they had training mode standby. Oh yeah, okay, it is stand. Okay, it is gonna be that. Just go to the training mode. Okay. Okay. As much as I want to try P-Groove, let's go to like Kyosuke, because I want to remember his...
Ready? Fight!
Okay, I just need to... match already. Alright, let's see. Okay, we gotcha. Yeah, I think everybody's gonna be playing, oh, we got a fellow P-Groover here. Let's see. Probably like a badass. Okay, we're gonna do the same time server we had, except I'm gonna do Hagashi. And we want him, I want him first though. And actually, I want him to be the anchor, because I'm gonna make him over to ratio 2. Okay, yeah. Bro, you're gonna be ratio 2, bruh. We're gonna swap Kyosuke with Iori.
This is gonna be a match
Banana
to
King.
remember. Fight!
Yeah, looks like it. See, that's another thing that's so cool about this game. It's like, you know, if you're diverse in playing like both SNK and Capcom games, it's like you can... Yeah, I can parry, buddy. Oh. Nice. Wow. How did I get so dizzy? Wow. I don't know how I got so dizzy. Yeah, it's because I continued.
Live and let die.
I probably should have started with the Iori. That's a bad start. I haven't really played it in a while. Okay. Do this. Do it again. Gotcha. I need to use a different controller, but this makes me push this middle pad thing. Oh, nice, he waited. I should have just delayed it. I should have delayed it. See, this is why I think I need to get Charlie or Guile. Is Charlie in here? I don't remember if Charlie's in here. I know Guile's in here. Let's put Charlie in this game. I don't know why I got hit with that much. projectiles are better. Oh my god. I was inputting a move and it didn't do anything. It wasn't like net code or anything like that. I don't know what happened there. I need to get a new PlayStation 5 controller. I think I've just jacked up this D-pad. GG's, that's a rematch. Yeah, there we go. Let's do a rematch. Do it for the stream. Alright. I'm sticking with P-Group though, because I think I don't know if you can handle my P-Groove, let's see, definitely want Guile. I think I still want to keep Iori though, because he's usually my main, upfront character. I'm gonna have you there. Okay, we want Iori first, and I want Guile last. Shoot. I hope I did that right. Yeah, okay.
Live and let die. Fight!
Did I just armor break him? Oh. Spammy Spammerson over here.
Live and let die. Fight!
One of those saga things in, yep. Alright. Yep. This is why I think I got Blanca, because the only thing is, I need his...
Live and let die. Fight!
There we go, I need that. Trying to parry. Well, I almost had him in the corner. He was getting a little frazzled.
Live and let die. Fight!
See, this is where the N groove or the A groove is good. Or a C groove, whichever one that's like alpha, because you can air block. Ah, should do the big one. I think I would have got him, because I wasn't anticipating him jumping. Right? I cannot get my... See, I knew he was gonna do that kick, and that's where I think having an air block is better, or just be anticipating parrying. I mean, he's parrying. He's got parry too, though. He hasn't parried once though. I don't think he's even tried to parry. Yeah, we'll play another one. Yeah, that one was pretty close.
This is the first dream event
Yeah, they're not like.
of the 21st century. If you choose the wrong groove, you may just lose. The winner of this tournament is
Let's just do C Groove.
in the world.
You know, truth be told, C Groove is actually one of the more like non-popular ones, but I like to use it because I like parrying. But if your parrying isn't good, you know, you're gonna get washed. Benny Marlow, I totally forgot that's another character I use. I'm gonna go a little crazy here. I think that, why do I keep thinking Charlie in this game? Maybe I just wanted to be in this game and just not.
Man, are you ready for this? This tournament is held under the free ratio system. Keep rocking, baby.
Level 3 or 2 rather.
Namaste.
Alright, this is gonna be kind
This
of a
battle
gamble
is
here.
about to explode. Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack and the final You are fired! You are fired! You are fired! You are fired!
Why am I not walking?
You are fired!
Yeah, you either know how to play against Vega or you don't.
This battle is about to explode. Fight!
Yeah, it's me putting like the freaking share button just now. The Vega gamble is
This
paying
battle
off.
is about to explode. Fight!
Yeah, if I can stop hitting like the freaking extra buttons here. Oh my god. I keep hitting like the touchpad thing in the middle. It keeps like freezing my input. That's alright.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight! Beautiful example of the art of the combination of
It like has like no hope.
Go for broke. Fight!
That's all I was trying to do with this freaking super. Yeah, that match should have been over like 10 moves ago. If I can stop hitting the option button, and if I can stop hitting the stupid touchpad button on here. I guess he just has never played like a Vega that knows what they're doing as Vega, so you know. Maybe I had that going for me, but we're gonna try K Groove. K Groove is really good because like you get that like you get just defend, but then you also get like massive damage with characters like Hummer, just anybody really. Oh, he's going all shadows, huh? You know what? Just because. Where is he? Just kind of. Be team annoying here. There you go.
Keep rocking, baby.
We're gonna do this exact order. Because with Homaru in K Group, and that freaking the heavy slash is a monster when you're in rage. I'm a little rusty with my Homaru. I don't remember some of his normals. Or, you know, the timing.
This is gonna be a match to remember. Fight!
So you gotta end the super or something when you're in a certain level, like level? I know that's like one of the King of Fighters things. I knocked him out of his super. See, that's what's different with this game. Like, you can actually do stuff like that, you know. They're not... People can't just get carried by, like, you know, spamming supers all the time.
Go for broke. Fight! Wow, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack at the start of the round. Uppercut! Uppercut!
I don't remember if you get supers in K Group. I mean, I'm sure you do. Yeah, I'll just get playing this Homaru. Oh, yeah, that's an awesome stage. Oh, there it goes. I got a little desync there. That's alright. GG's, whoever that was. Oh, what was that? 1 out of 4 or something like that? Yeah, well, that was a little bit of that. So that netcode seems to work pretty good. We played fair amount of matches on there. Let's try casual match. I want to try some Powerstone. I want to see if there's some people out there that gives Powerstone some love, because this is a game that needs to be played online, and it's just been too long, you know. It's been way too long. But I know everybody's playing Capcom vs. SNK too. Plus, we're going to probably be wrapping this up in a little bit anyways. We've been on for about a couple hours. So I just wanted to get a little quick first look at it. You know, early release. Some people have pre-ordered the game out there. And, maybe have to wait till next week to get it or whatever. So. Oh, it just... I see. It just picks the game. So what if I don't want to play that game? How do you set that to play the game you want to play? I think it's... Okay, hold on. I think you have to actually select... I think there's something where you gotta, like, select the game. That's it. Okay, that's why. Okay, I was like, why is it picking that? There we go. Now you hit X, and then it'll... You have to hit triangle or whatever respective button. You have to select the games that you want to connect to, and I think I had Capcom vs. SNK 2 selected. Yeah. Now, if it wasn't so late, I'd probably jump on Expedition 33, but I think after this, I'm going to probably sign out. But we want to play a couple of these matches online, just to kind of get a feel. Oh, I think I might even play, like, Plasma Sword online, because that game is actually pretty fun. I like the controls to it. Easy to get into, you know, kind of mindless, like, fighting game. See, this is the test here, man. I want to see what kind of love this game gets, because I know there's some Powerstone players out there. Like, I'd be surprised to see, like, people doing, like, tournaments or something for it now. I mean, I guess because it's, you know, it's not very many mechanics to the game, so, you know, you get people that are gonna not gravitate towards it. You know, they can play something like Smash Brothers, but still. Yeah, I the only time I ever really got to play Powerstone was at home or at a friend's house and in the arcades. Because when it was in the arcades, man, it was like one of the hottest games. I'm telling you, like, it was just like Smash Brothers in the arcade, you know, like everybody played it. And definitely did well with it. Okay. No love at all. No love for Powerstone. I'm just gonna have it selected, but I'll pick that. Okay, I'm gonna try it. I just want to see which one of these games I actually get. Here, let's do all of them. I don't, except for Powerstone 2. No, not even that one, because this is literally... Why would you play this if you got this? So, let's see. I just want to see which game gets, like... gets picked. Yeah, I don't even know why. Did I pick Capcom Fighting Jam? I think I did.
Here comes the new challenge.
Let's see.
You must crush them.
What price roll I got? It's gonna be Capcom SNK 2, I bet you. Every game. I just wanna... This is my test. I wanna see, like, how many... Yeah. I wanna see how many times I get that before I get another game. So we've gotten SNK CVS 2 times so far. And I've got, like, 4 different games. Yeah, that's everybody's literally gonna be playing this game. It was the same thing with Marvel 2 on the other collection, you know. I didn't do a stream on that one, but it's kind of a little too late to do that now. You know, and I wonder what network settings I picked for. I think I have it set to any. Because, you know, a lot of... Oh, what do we got? Ah, we got Powerstone. Let's go. Alright, let's go. There we go. Someone was heard my pleas for Powerstone.
Charlie, one. Are you ready? Action!
Oh. Oh, we got ourselves a Powerstone player here. Nice, got him. I'm telling you, man, Powerstone. I need to get up on this Powerstone. Something an old guy like me would say. Don't need to get up on this Powerstone. Trick series is like not to waste your gym attacks. And when you have it, just get them. Got him. Got my first Powerstone win. Oh man. See if I can. Oh, that's gonna be a Wang Tang mirror. Okay, I was about to say. I'm actually not a Wang Tang player. That's what's funny. I just want to play him because I used to hate fighting him. He's literally Goku. Look at that. Yeah, see, Wang Tang's cheap, dude.
Are you ready? Action!
Yeah, you can catch items, I think, too, like if they throw it at you. Oh, shit, I just hurt myself. Oh, it's the thing from Fantastic Four, guys. Get away. Oh yeah, look at what is Wang Tang doing up there? What the? See, the fun in the game is it's not the gameplay or the engine. It's doing like that crazy crap. So it's the pole grabbing. Can't hang with the Wang Tang. man. This guy's good too. I actually like him, but she's fun. But let's go with the samurai. Oh, Galuda. Galuda's pretty. I like all the characters are fun. I mean, you know, they literally kind of play the same, except that their attacks are just a little bit different.
Are you ready? Action!
Yeah, he has the hands, man. Oh man.
Are you ready? Action!
They don't know about the dive kick yet, man. Oh. I just hurt myself with that. Why does a man that has a sword need another sword? Maybe do that? Oh shoot, it's on. The Silver Samurai. Watch out. See, it's like you can combo like their projectiles and stuff. Like that's what's so cool about the super. You just have to kind of know how to use it. The switch up. I'm telling you, man. Powerstone. Powerstone is where it's at. The only thing is I wish the first one had like more characters. Yeah. I mean, you know, he's probably like a person like me, man, who hasn't played Powerstone like forever, or maybe playing it for the first time, who knows.
Are you ready? Action!
She looks like Poem from yeah, see, you gotta do a lot of like dive attacks, because that's what gets you the gems. You get escape the flame. Oh, nice. Got me first. Got you second. Carpet. Magic carpet. Oh. Oh. That was the one thing about this game. It's like the more and more you play, the more stuff you like discover you can, you know, do. Because I forgot you can like hang on the ceiling and stuff. Okay, we're gonna go with Falcon here. It's such a simple game, man, but it's got like a formula that just works.
Challenge 1. Are you ready? Action!
Yeah, I remember Die Hard in the arcades. I was also at the same movie theater that I used to play this in. It was this, Guys, Die Hard, the new Star Wars, like, you know, that Sega one where you can like fly and use the joystick as the lightsaber. I forget, it's Sega Star Wars, whatever. That too. Oh man, I didn't realize I had my guns already. Stay away from it. Great. Mine. Oh, you okay? Oh, you okay? Oh, you okay?
Are you ready? Action!
I think I'm having way too much fun. This is one of those games that, like, you know, you're like an old guy that's got like kids, because I got kids that would play this with their kids and just talk so much trash and they get like so upset. Stop hitting me, it's so cheap. Oh, nice. Oh man. I thought I was gonna flip around him like I've been doing. Okay. So he's gonna trying to break the streak, man. Oh no. Trying to break the streak. I think it's because he's how much sharp you can. Oh, he got me. He finally broke the streak. GG's. I'll do another one. Probably just do like this last one though, because I haven't tried Gun Rock. Oh, they got. I forgot they got the like bosses or whatever. Man. Well, there you go. Got some more characters.
Challenge 1. Are you ready? Action!
Yeah. Man, he just smacks you around, man. Oh, nice. get me with that. Oh. That was actually like a pretty good round, actually. We're just going back and forth. Yeah, it's like a fun kind of chaos, and it's not, you know, it's like a tolerable chaos is what it is. Is there some games that are like this that it's just like too much? Like that's how I feel about the second one. It's just too much. Oh shit. Ooh! I didn't realize his health was down there. Roll on the table. Ah, you hit me. Okay. Can't be afraid to like attack when I got the gem. That's the thing. Ben Grimm up in this piece. Ben Grimm. Dizzy. Oh. No! Oh man, that was like some intense Powerstone. Ah, GG's. Okay, we're gonna call it quits here. I need to add that guy or something. That was pretty fun. Man. Yeah, so close. So that's the next thing. How do you do, isn't there a way to look at who you just recently played? Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for sticking through. This was a cool, like, I wasn't even planning on doing this. I totally forgot this game was being released today. So as soon as I saw it was like almost midnight, I'm like, this is a perfect time to do a video. So with that said, guys, we are going to end the stream here today. I appreciate everybody that stopped by and tuned in. We'll do another one of these again, and hopefully by then we'll do a little bit more practiced up, so to speak, and I'll be jumping on some more of the Capcom and versus SNK 2 madness. Peace, thank you, 6*6*6, if I said that right. And also thank you to Joshua Lowe for joining the stream. Appreciate you, man. And we'll be doing this really soon. So be safe, peace, and let's play these fighting games, man.
No matter who it is, when you match me up,